Welcome. In this topic, I will cover three things. First is relation, second portion is functions, and binary operations. This is the first chapter of class 12th. Before I start, let me revise few things regarding set theory. We already know that capital N is the set of natural numbers and capital Z is the set of all integers, whereas rational number sets are known as capital Q and sets of real numbers are capital R. So first of all, what is a relation? As we have already discussed in class 11, that a relation is a subset of A cross B, where A and B are two non-empty set or non-void set, and A cross B is the Cartesian product of two sets. So it means a relation is a kind of set which is a subset of A cross B, because A cross B is also a set. Suppose any element AB belongs to R, because here AB is an ordered pair, because in A cross B all the elements are in the form of ordered pair. Therefore here I am talking about relation whose elements are in the form of ordered pair. So suppose an ordered pair A comma B belongs to R, then we will say that A R B, or A is related to B. If in case AB doesn't belongs to R, it means A is not related to B. Let's take one example to understand it in more proper way. The set A is 1 2 3 and set B is 2 3 4, and one relation is written which is AB such that B is equal to 2A, where small a belongs to set A and small b belongs to set B. Then you have to show that R is a relation from set A to B. So how we will show that this R is a relation from set A to B? Before that we have to write Cartesian product A cross B. So what is the rule of writing A cross B? Its rule is, since we are writing A cross B, so I will take first element of A and I will start making pairs with the other elements of B. So the ordered pair will be 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, 1 comma 4. In the same way, next will be 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 2 comma 4. And finally it will be 3 comma 2, 3 comma 3 and 3 comma 4. So this is A cross B. Now look at this relation. This relation is written in set builder form, and here this ordered pair A comma B is written in the way that B is equal to 2A. It means we can say this second element is double of the first. So now we will see where this condition is true. So here this second element is double of first, so I will take this element and one more, because 4 is double of 2, so here this B is double 2 times of A. So this relation is written in the form of in roster form I have written, because this is set builder form and this is roster form. So now there are only two elements which satisfy the given condition that B is equal to 2A. And one more thing, that this first element must belong to set A and this second element must belong to set B. So here R is 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 4. We can easily observe this R is a set which is a subset of A cross B, because 1 comma 2 also belongs to A cross B, as well as 2 comma 4 is in A cross B. Therefore R is a subset of A cross B, and we already know when any set is a subset of A cross B, it is known as relation. So here R is a subset of A cross B, therefore R is a relation from set A to B. Suppose somebody is asking what will be the number of relation from set A to B. So its formula is 2 to the power P into Q, where P is the number of elements in set A and Q is the number of elements in set B. So here number of elements in set A is 3 and the value of Q is also 3. So the total relation from set A to B will be 2 to the power 9. Now let's talk about the types of relation. I hope it is clear what is a relation. Now the type of relation, take first thing, which is empty relation or void relation. So a relation on set A is empty relation if it has no element. Actually here we will talk only about one set, because whatever relation we will take only on a single set. Here I am not talking about set B, because here set A and set B both are set A actually. So if in a relation there is no element, then we will say it is an empty relation, and it is represented by phi. Phi means null set. Just take an example. If set A is 1, 2, 3 and R is a relation defined by A comma B such that A minus B is equal to 12, means difference of first and second numbers present in ordered pair is 12. So first of all write A cross A. So A cross A will be 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3. Similarly 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2 and 2 comma 3. And finally 3 comma 1, 3 comma 2 and 3 comma 3. So this is A cross A. Now just find out those ordered pairs which satisfy this condition where A minus B is 12. Now you can check 1 minus 1 0, 1 minus 2 is minus 1, 1 minus 3 is minus 2. So we will never get 12. So therefore there is no such element in A cross A which satisfies this condition. So we will say that number of elements is phi, and obviously phi is a subset of A cross A, because every empty set is a subset of the given set. So here the given example represents the void relation or empty relation. There are more examples. Second is universal relation, and in universal relation when the relation is equal to A cross A, we will say it is a universal relation. And here just take an example. A is a set 1 comma 2 and R is a relation A B such that the sum of A and B is greater than 0. So obviously A cross A will be 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2. Now find out those pairs which gives A plus B is greater than 0. Now you can check 1 plus 1 greater than 0. It is true. So I will take it here. 1 plus 2, 3 greater than 0. Correct. 2 plus 1, 3 greater than 0. Take it. And 2 plus 2, 4 again greater than 0. It means all these ordered pairs are satisfying this condition that A plus B is greater than 0. So it means this relation R is actually A cross A. So when the relation R is equal to A cross A, it is known as universal relation. And when this relation is phi, it will be an empty relation. Now take third type of relation, which is identity relation. And here a relation on set A is an identity relation if, please note, every element of A is related only to itself. What does it means? It means if a relation is represented by A comma A such that A belongs to set A, then it is an identity relation. Means for an identity relation, every element of set A must be related to itself only, not with the others element. I'm taking one example. Its representation is IA. It is the representation of identity relation. A means set. So this is an identity relation on set A. Yeah, this is the example of an identity relation where a set A is 1, 2, 3 and relation R is represented by AB such that A minus B is 0. So first write A cross A. So A cross A will be 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. After this 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3. Finally 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. So this is A cross B. Now come to the relation which is A minus B is equal to 0. Now find out. Yeah, here 1 minus 1 is 0. And here 1 minus 2 is minus 1, so we will not take it. Now here 2 minus 2 is 0, and finally 3 minus 3 is 0. So there are only 3 elements which satisfies this condition that A minus B is 0. A means first element, B is second element, so we will take only first element and second element. So this relation is actually 1, 1, 2, 2 and 3, 3. So now you can observe here every element of set A is related to itself. It means I have covered all the elements 1, 2 and 3. You can see here 1, 2 and 3, as well as 1 is related to itself. 1 is related to 1. Similarly 2 is related to 2 and 3 is related to 3. So this is an example of an identity relation on set A. Okay. So condition for identity relation is that every element of set A must be related to itself only. So therefore this 1, 1, 2, 2 and 3, 3 is an identity relation. Further, I will take more examples for clarification. Just take next type of relation which is reflexive. So a reflexive relation is very much similar to an identity relation, and finally I will tell you the difference between reflexive and identity. But here if a relation is in such a way that A is related to itself A, for every A which belongs to set A, that is if A comma A belongs to R, for every A belongs to A, so then it is a reflexive relation. Just take the set A is 1, 2, 3 and I have taken 3 different sets R1, R2 and R3. We have to check which one is reflexive or which one is not. So first take R1. So in R1 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2 and 3, 3 numbers are present. So reflexive means this A comma A must belongs to R for every A belongs to A. So here in A there are 3 numbers 1, 2 and 3. So we need 1, 1, 2, 2 and 3, 3. But here there are some extra elements also like 2, 1, 3, 1 and 3, 2. So no problem. Since R1 satisfies the basic condition that A comma A belongs to R, so therefore R1 is a reflexive relation on set A, because in R1 1, 1, 2, 2 and 3, 3 are present. So R1 is reflexive. Just see R2. Here in R2 you can see this is not reflexive, because for reflexive we require 1 1, 2 2 and 3 3. So therefore it is not a reflexive relation. What about R3? You can see in R3 1 comma 1 is present, it's good, but it is said every element of set A. So 2 comma 2 and 3 comma 3 is not present in R3. So therefore R3 is not a reflexive relation. So in all the three cases only R1 is reflexive. Now final point, that every identity relation is reflexive and every universal relation is reflexive. Please note these points, that every identity relation is reflexive. So it means there is no difference between identity and reflexive relation. Means if relation is identity relation, so obviously it will be reflexive, but it is not necessarily, right? And second point is that if empty relation is present, so it is not necessary that it is reflexive. So you have to note this point. Now come to the fifth important point, which is symmetric relation. So a relation is symmetric when this condition is true, like A is related to B and that implies B related to A. Just reverse order. If A is related to B implies B related to A, then we can also say that if an ordered pair AB belongs to R and if it implies that BA also belongs to R, then the relation will be a symmetric relation on set A. Let's take an example. See, in this example, a set A is given 1 2 3. A set R1 is given, which is 1 1 2 2 1 2 and 2 1. We have to check whether R1 is symmetric or not. So the condition of symmetric is that if AB belongs to R, that implies BA must also belongs to R. So let's take one by one. Here 1 comma 1 belongs to R1. So when we reverse it, so we can also write that 1 comma 1 belongs to R1, because when we change the positions it will remain same. So here when 1 1 belongs to R1, it implies that 1 1 also belongs to R1. Similarly, when 2 2 belongs to R1, it implies 2 2 also belongs to R1. Now see third case, third element 1 comma 2 belongs to R1. It means 2 comma 1 must also belongs to R1. You can check. Yes, 2 comma 1 is present. So when 1 comma 2 belongs to R1, it implies that 2 comma 1 belongs to R1, which is correct. Take final element. This 2 comma 1 belongs to R1. It implies that 1 comma 2 must belongs to R1. Yes, it is present. So now all the conditions are true. So therefore we can say this R1 is symmetric. Now come to set number R2, which is 1 1 2 2 and 3 3. So obviously A comma B belongs to R2, that implies B comma A belongs to R2. For every A, B belongs to R2. It means for every 1, 2 and 3, this 1 comma 1 belongs to R2. It implies that 1 comma 1 also belongs to R2. Similar case is for 2, 2 and similar cases for 3, 3. So obviously this relation is symmetric. Now take R3. Here in R3, 1 comma 1 2 comma 2 1 comma 2 2 comma 1 and 3 comma 1 is present. So see it carefully. You can see when 1 comma 1 is present, so obviously 1 comma 1 is present. With 2 comma 2 is present, then its reverse 2 comma 2 is already present. When 1 comma 2 is present in R3, so 2 comma 1 must be present. Yes, it is present. Now let's take this element. When 2 comma 1 is present in R3, it means 1 comma 2 must be present. So here it is present. When 3 comma 1 belongs to R3, it means for symmetric 1 comma 3 must be present, but there is no element which is 1 comma 3. So I have written here that 3 comma 1 belongs to R3, but 1 comma 3 does not belongs to R3. So therefore this R3 is not symmetric relation. One more note here, that every identity and universal relations are symmetric. What does it means? That identity and universal relations are symmetric. Now come to the sixth type or last type of relation, which is transitive relation. So a relation on set A is said to be transitive if there are three elements A, B, C which belongs to set A, and if A is related to B and B is related to C, and if it implies that A is related to C, then we will say that the relation is transitive on the given set A. Let's take this example. Here one set is a 1 2 3, and one relation is 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, and 2 comma 2. So check one by one how. Take this element 1 comma 1. So I have written that 1 comma 1 belongs to R1, and here it is 1. So just find out next element where first element is 1. Yeah, here. So 1 comma 2 is also present in R1. It means this first and this last means 1 comma 2 must be present. Yes, 1 comma 2 is present. So it means A comma B belongs to R1 and B comma C belongs to R2. It implies that A comma C belongs to R. Therefore, first condition is true. Now similar cases here. This 1 comma 2 belongs to R1. So it is 1 2. So next will be 2. So this one. So when 1 comma 2 belongs to R1 and 2 comma 1 belongs to R1, it means 1 comma 1 must be present in R1. Yes, it is present. Now it is correct. Similarly, one more point we can write. If 1 comma 2 is present in R1, you can see here. You take this point. If 1 comma 2 belongs to R1 and this 2 comma 2 is also here, 2 comma 2 belongs to R1, so it implies 1 comma 2 must be R1. So 1 comma 2 is present. It is again correct. Now come to the third element. When 2 comma 1 is present in R1 and it is 2 comma 1, so where is 1? Yeah, so when 2 comma 1 is present and 1 comma 1 is present, so it means 2 comma 1 must be in R1. So just check where is 2 comma 1 here. Further, when 2 comma 1 is present and 1 comma 1 is also present, sorry, 1 comma 2, if 2 comma 2 is present, and I am talking about third element, 2 comma 1. So 2 comma 1 is present and 1 comma 2 is present. So obviously 2 comma 2 must be present, which is present. Now last one, 2 comma 2 belongs to R1 and 2 comma 1 belongs to R1. So finally 2 comma 1 must be present. It is present. It means all the conditions are satisfied. Therefore, this relation R1 is transitive relation. Yeah, take this example. This is very important. Now here R2 is 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 3. We have to check whether it is transitive or not. Take one by one. 1 comma 1 belongs to R2 and 1 comma 2 belongs to R2. It means this first element 1 comma 2 must be in R2. Yes, 1 comma 2 is present. But when we are taking second element like 1 comma 2 present in R2 and 2 comma 3 is present in R2, it means 1 comma 3 must be in R3. Sorry, R2. 1 comma 3 must be in R2, but here there is no 1 comma 3. It means here the condition is wrong, that if A comma B is in R2 and B comma C is in R2, it means A comma C must be in R2, but it is not present. So therefore this R2 is not transitive. Now third one is very important. Here R3 is 1 1 and 1 2. So is it a transitive relation or not? So just remember, here 1 comma 1 is in R3 and 1 comma 2 is in R3. It means 1 comma 2 must be in R3. 1 comma 2 is present, so it is transitive. Now forget about this second element because there is no such pair is present. So when there is no such pair is present, we will assume it is transitive, because here only one condition is true, but for this element there is no such pair, so we will assume it is transitive. Like in fourth example, where R4 is 1 comma 2 and 1 comma 3, there is no situation in which AB belongs to R4 and BC belongs to R4. It means here we can't see any situation like AB belongs to R4 and BC belongs to R4. So we can't conclude that AC belongs to R4. There is no such situation. So please note, when there is no such situation, then in that case this relation will be transitive always. Now final very important note, please note that every identity and universal relations are reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Means these identity and universals are reflexive, symmetric and transitive, whereas empty relation is also symmetric and transitive, but it is not reflexive. So you must analyze why I am saying these points. Just take different examples of your book and analyze why identity and universal relations are always reflexive, symmetric and transitive, whereas empty relation is not reflexive but it is symmetric and transitive. I hope it is clear. In next video I will take important problems based on types of relation, and remember, when a relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, it is known as equivalence relation. Thank you very much.